Welcome, everyone. This is author Tim Brown of the book Uncommon Athletes. And I am blessed today to have with me former Ohio State Buckeye, recent graduate, a Westerville native, Andre Wesson. Andre, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I wanted to, we've been going through this book series, and today we're going to talk about selflessness and what it looks like to be a selfless player, not a selfish player. And you come from a basketball family background. Can you share a little about that growing up? I know your dad played Ohio State and you and your brother were kind of introduced to basketball. Could you talk a little bit about that experience growing up?
Yeah, so just growing up in Columbus and obviously my dad going and playing at Ohio State, I obviously heard about his game a lot and just how good he was. And growing up in Niles, he wasn't that far from Columbus. We'd go up to where he was from all the time. And just hearing all the basketball stories about him and how he was able to do the things that he did on the court. And it's kind of something that me and my brother just kind of instantly took, really, just wanting to follow in his footsteps and kind of just be the basketball player that he was, or even better. So just being able to work every day to be able to go to an Ohio State where he played at and being able to get an offer and me and my brother going there, it was definitely special. And I mean, it's basketball, something that definitely has kept our family together and something that we cherish for sure.
Right, that's good stuff. You also had some special experiences in high school. Your high school team in Westerville South, both your junior and senior year, made it to the state finals, losing that junior year and then coming back winning it that senior year. Can you talk about the selflessness of that team, the makeup of that team, in order to, because I know to win a state championship, it takes a lot of guys making some sacrifices to get to that level and winning it. Could you speak to that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we had a very unselfish team. I mean, pretty much to me, we had about 5-6 players. If they went to any other high school, they would have been the star on that team. And for everybody just to give up a little part of themselves just to make the team so more cohesive and so much more connected. I mean, it was huge, and it's a big reason why we were able to go to back-to-back state championship games and win one.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know, in basketball, we talk about that sixth man, you know, how important that sixth man is. And you've been on a lot of teams. Could you kind of speak to what that sixth man has to give up, you know, in order for the team to be successful, and why that sixth man, why that person's willing to give up, like you said, being a star, being a starter, to come off the bench?
Yeah, I mean, the sixth man is maybe one of the most important players on the team, really. Usually he's somebody who can really score the ball or really defend, really another starter out there. He's just too many other guys out there. So really a sixth man has to be really the most unselfish player on the team. He can't really get into his head about not starting, because a lot of times the sixth man, he's going to put up numbers. He's going to really do his part during that whole game and wondering why he should not out there starting. But for them to be able to give a little bit of themselves up and be able to come off the bench and know that what they're doing is helping us, what they're doing helps our team, and there's value in that is just incredible.
Yeah, and there's a lot of good. Look around the NBA and college basketball. There's a lot of guys who make that sacrifice. You know, they're selfless and just doing what's best for the team. And that leads us to, in the book, we talk about a little bit about a me first versus a team first attitude. You know, and I'm sure you've seen that. How do you maintain a team first attitude versus a me first attitude?
Yeah, just realizing that it's always something bigger than me. Obviously, individual stats, everybody gets reactions and credits for that. I mean, the accolades go on and on for individual stats, but just knowing that everybody's chasing that big thing, that big championship or that ring at the end of the year, and being unselfish and giving up a part of yourself for the betterment of the team, just having that team first mentality, that's the biggest thing that everybody on that team can have. If everybody has a me first mentality, you're not going far at all. Everybody's going in different directions with their own agenda. But if everybody has that same agenda, a team can accomplish way more.
Yeah, what we find in sports is that when you have that team first mentality, that your personal goals are achieved along the way.
Oh, yes, sir. Definitely.
Definitely. Everybody's playing together or whatnot, then everybody benefits, you know, in that mentality of team first.
I also would like to add something. I feel as though it only works if everybody has that team mentality. If there's a few other guys that have that me first mentality, that individual might not get what he wants or he's been working hard for it. But if everybody has that team first mentality, then yeah, I think the individual will definitely get what they're looking for.
Yeah, that's good stuff. And that's the same way in life, you know. And
Yeah.
think about your family. I mean, there's three Ohio State basketball players in there, you know. And, you and your brother coming along, you could have said, man, I'm the older brother, give me the ball. I got to get mine right now. You got another year, but I got to get mine right now. And just looking back over your career, being an all-state basketball player, all-Ohio basketball player, and then actually having that opportunity to play at Ohio State, definitely had to be about team first, even from a family standpoint, being about that. And the more people I talk to about you, they talk about how you're such a great young man, but most importantly, a silent leader, so to speak. May not be as vocal, but by actions, that demonstrate what selflessness looks like. So for you, can you describe a selfless athlete? What does that look? What are the qualities that a selfless athlete has?
To me, it's somebody who's usually always putting their team before themselves. Just somebody who's not one who's not going to get on the ground to die for a ball, or somebody who's not going to pick a teammate up when they're down, when the coach is yelling at them, not picking them up, telling them that they're going to be okay, or always sad about not getting the ball. That's a selfish player. And I mean, there's not many teams that's going to win with selfish players, really. I mean, you need the team first attitude throughout the team, and just knowing you have to give up certain parts of the game just to get somebody else better, or make yourself better in the end.
Mm-hmm. You were part of a team this year. I think you were the only senior on the team at Ohio State this year. And so you had a lot of young guys coming in, some transfer guys, just trying to get everybody on the same page. What would you say were some of the things that you led by example? What were some things that you did to help those guys understand that this is about the team? Because, when guys come in, they all have these high school stats. Have you seen them come in? Being a senior, you've seen these guys come in that they're ranked number in the country or whatever, these McDonald All-Americans and all that. So how did you be an example for those young guys on how to be selfless?
Just coming in and working as hard as I could every day, just showing them how to work. I mean, a lot of the times your freshman year, you're going to have a lot of ups and downs, and you're going to go through a lot of things, but your work can't really change. Life keeps moving, so you got to keep moving forward. So just showing them how to work and just letting them know that you're going to go through some tough times throughout the year. Things aren't going to go exactly how you thought they were going to go going into the season. So you just got to roll with the punches and just find that niche that keeps you on the floor, that keeps everything going, keeps the team going, the cogs on the wheel turning, and it'll work out.
Yeah. As you begin this next journey of your life, you finished with your high school, college career, preparing for your professional career. What are some takeaways as you look back over to a young Andre? I saw a picture of you, and you was an all-Ohio picture. You was a skinny little something, and now, looking at you now, what would you say to some young guy looking back at your young self? What would you tell your young self about this journey?
Yeah, probably the biggest thing is you can't do it by yourself. Early on, I know I try to just go to the gym. I try to just get away, go to the gym by myself, just really just try to get some shots up. But as I learned and as my college career went on, I learned that I needed help. Like I needed a trainer. I needed somebody in the gym who could tell me, oh, you're doing this wrong, change this. You need something different. So for me, it was just learning that I need others to help me and others to help me succeed.
Yeah. And that's what unselfishness is. It's hard work, first off, because it's uncommon. It's not what everybody does. And then it's up to you. You came to that realization. And that's what we try to get young athletes to realize. You can't do this thing by yourself. You got to realize that you need some help along the way. But it's up to you to make that choice, at some point. So what was that defining moment when you made that choice to realize, hey, I can't do this by myself? Well, what was that moment in time?
It was probably halfway through my freshman year. I mean, I felt as though I was putting the work in. I mean, I was getting to the gym early, trying to stay late and get shots, and going after practice or whenever and trying to get up shots, and just realizing that I was going by myself and there was coaches there, other players. Even, I mean, me being from Columbus, my trainer was still there. And
Right.
I just needed them really to just get feedback from what was going on. I mean, I wasn't really playing early, so just getting feedback from them about what's going on and how can they help me. And that's kind of when it clicked that I need other people. I need like kind of an advisory board, as some people would put it, just to get information and feedback.
That's good. Good. Who was part of that advisory team? Who should young guys surround themselves with? Who's going to give them some real feedback? Who are those real persons in your life? You know, who keeps it real with you?
Yeah, you definitely don't want any yes men in your circle. Anybody who's telling you yes all the time or always patting on your back, like you're the greatest, you're doing the best you can. You don't really want those people in your circle. I mean, I tell people all the time, my brother is my biggest critic. That's why I got to keep him around. He's always constantly trying to make me better, constantly. Just even when I thought I did good, he'll tell you, you didn't do your best. Like, you could definitely go better. And just having somebody like that always around you, it makes you better. And it also forces you to help them too. It makes them better with you being around them.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Yeah, being around them helps. Everybody benefits. Once again, it goes back to that. You know, when we're not selfish, then everybody benefits from it. You know, he's
One
helping
of the
you.
things the thing that my high school coach always used to tell me is iron sharpens iron. And that's something that I try to live by, just having somebody who can help me around and try to help them as well.
Yeah. Speaking of that, you just went to the Bible there. So what, I know you're a man of faith. What are some of those, how has faith help you in your walk? How does faith help us to be unselfish?
Oh, definitely just trying to, like you said, just being a man of faith, just knowing that selfishness isn't something that God really was with, or just being, giving outside yourself, being a part of something that's bigger than yourself. So that's something I always try to do. I always try to be unselfish to people I know and people I don't know. Just always trying to help people out.
That's good. That's good. All right. As we wrap up, what would be that thing that you would speak to a young athlete on their journey to success, and how unselfishness plays in that and helping them be successful?
Yeah, and life-wise, just you can't do anything great by yourself. You always need somebody to either look after you or to be helping you, and throughout everything. Everybody needs help. And basketball-wise, just don't get caught up in all the selfish stats and all the stuff like that. Just find your niche. If you find your niche and perfect that niche, you'll go far in the game of basketball. There's role players make a lot of money in this game just finding their niche, not necessarily scoring all the points, but just doing what they can do to the best of their ability.
Wow, that's powerful, boy. That's a great word. Well, Andre, I appreciate you taking time out from your day and being a part of this series. And I'm looking forward to following your career, because I know the best is yet to come. I know God has a plan for your life. And so thanks again for being a part of this today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on here, for sure.